everyone. It's Wednesday again. This is the Wednesday weekly learning session for local bartending school. My name is Carlos Navia. I do this every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time at 6 p.m. Eastern time. If you go to local bartending school on Facebook and you go to the link for the class, if you're already an enrolled student, you can put that you're already an enrolled student and it'll take you straight to this Zoom link. If you are not an enrolled student, they'll ask you for a little information, then they'll give you the Zoom link to this class. You are welcome to always be part of this and ask me any questions about anything. I've been a professional bartender for 20 plus years now in several different states in 2 different countries. I've been teaching for local bartending school for about 8 years now. I do a lot of this, do a lot of live videos, so always happy to have people and get your questions in. I don't think we have any questions right now to start off today, so I'm kind of going to jump into the topic. It is August 17th. We're kind of here in the dog days of summer, not a lot going on. I did see something in my email, though, that I wanted to mention, and I've mentioned this group before. Tales of the Cocktail is a nonprofit organization. It's a society of spirit industry professionals that are their mission is the advancement of the spirit industry. So it's a lot of bartenders and spirit professionals basically trying to help younger people come up and advance their careers in the spirit industry. You go to talesofthecocktail.org. It is a nonprofit organization. It's 100% free to sign up for their newsletter. And, you get some very cool things. And I'll show you one that I just got this week that I think is cool because you get some stuff for different contests like this. Floricania is having a contest for who can make the most sustainable cocktail. Anyone can go ahead and enter this. If you go to Tales of the Cocktail, talesofthecocktail.org and go to their website, you're welcome to enter, put in your idea for a sustainable cocktail and someone's going to win. I think it's like $10,000 is the prize, something like that. So it's pretty good. And, I've entered tons of contests. I haven't won anything yet. I'm still hopeful, but it is a lot of fun. And the best advice I had got was enter contests before you think you're ready. The more you enter, the more you get a feel for it and how contests work, the better you're going to get at it and the better submissions you're going to have in the future. So check that out. Go to Tales of the Cocktail. They've also got great videos and great information there as well. And it kind of gets into a little, I was talking about sustainability and stuff last week, which is still a big word in our industry, and especially where I live out here in California. So I want to talk a little bit today just about customer service. This is a customer service job. That is one of the most important things. And I find it kind of odd and unfortunate that I've seen, in my years, so many bartenders and servers that just really have a bad attitude. Like they don't want to wait on people and serve people. And that's, entirely their job. I went to the University of West Florida for hotel and resorts management. And it was funny one time when we had someone, in one of our classes say, I hate tourists. And someone got the words out before I did, which is maybe you want to think about a different major, because that is what we do. We're here to take care of tourists. We're here to take care of guests. We're here to take care of people. So, it really is about having the right attitude, when you get there to work. People are not putting you out. It's kind of one of those funny things. People sometimes will say, I know you're busy, but, and I've got a line for it that automatically comes out. I know you're busy, but I'm never too busy for you, is what I say every time. Because people like they're putting you out or something. And hey, I took a shower, put these clothes on, combed my hair, got dressed specifically for the purpose of coming down here and getting you whatever you need today. You're not putting me out. So just remember that it is a customer service job. And, if we kind of examine customer service, we can use this to get better service and thus increase our tips and maximize our tips by giving better customer service. So first thing is just, the customer psychology. Why do people go out? Why are they paying that premium? Because, for the price of one beer at a bar where I live, I could buy a 6-pack and take it home. So why do people go to bars and restaurants? First thing, entertainment. It is about social interaction. That is a lot of what we sell. It is also about, entertainment, seeing sporting events, live music, stuff like that is a reason to go out. Also to be served so that they don't have to cook. They don't have to take care of themselves. Someone else is going to do all that work for them. That's kind of the whole idea. Also, then you don't have to clean it up. That's the other thing. I don't have to cook. I don't have to serve myself, and I don't have to do the dishes. I don't have to clean up when it's all done. And then, of course, the other thing, just the social interaction. And that is really what it's about. Once again, I could drink at home much cheaper than I can drink at a bar. I am paying that premium to be out, to be around people, and to be socializing and interacting with people. And, they kind of go for the experience, and that's what it is. And we're there to create an experience for them. And it's big too. One of the things that bothers me sometimes is, the last people to walk in the door should have the same experience as the first people who walked in the door. They're spending the same money. One of my big pet peeves is if someone's eating dinner and there's a server turning over chairs on the table next to them, because that's telling that person, hey, it's time for you to go. And that person feels pressure and they feel like they need to hurry with their meal and get out. And they shouldn't have to do that. They're paying the same money as the first people that walked in there that day. They shouldn't be rushed to finish their meals. So, we're there to create an experience for them. The other thing we kind of got to remember too, and I talk about this sometimes, is that when people go out, people go on vacation, they leave their brains at home. They turn it off. It's that time for, people to decompress, for them to relax, for them to not have to think and not to have to use their brains. So, what do people expect when they go out? Well, they're going to be paying a premium. You're going to be paying for stuff. And depending, on the venue or places you go, that could be kind of high. If you're at the airport, it's going to be expensive. Stuff's going to be pricey there. If I go to Disneyland, stuff's going to be pricey. If I go to a Dodger game out here, in LA, I think it's $15, $16, just for a beer or something like that. So, you're going to pay a premium. You're paying the money when you go out. People want a clean environment. And I cannot stress with what we've all dealt with the last 2 years, how much being clean and making stuff. I'm going to mute you. There we go. Being clean and keeping things sanitized is more important than ever because of COVID and what we've dealt with for the last 2 years. Even prior to COVID, 3,000 to 5,000 people die every year in the United States from foodborne illness in restaurants. And that's a real number. You can Google it. Most of it is cross-contaminational hazards of raw or undercooked chicken and raw or undercooked seafood and shellfish are two big ones. But we want to make sure that we're not getting anybody hurt. We're not getting anybody sick. And people right now, because of COVID, because what we've all dealt with for the past, 2+ years, 2.5 years now, people are hyper aware about cleanliness and sanitation more than they've ever been in the past. So it is very important for us to make sure that we are providing a clean, sanitary environment for people to hang out in, for people to relax in, enjoy their drinks, enjoy their food. Here's the thing. If people don't think it's clean, they're not going to feel safe and they're not going to spend time and spend their money there. They're going to leave and go somewhere else. So, they expect to find a clean environment, a safe, sanitary environment, and a fun atmosphere. Or an appropriate atmosphere, I should say. Different venues have kind of different atmospheres, but it's supposed to be fun. We're supposed to be creating a good atmosphere. We're supposed to be creating a fun time for people to come out and enjoy themselves. So that's what they're looking for. Also, great service, which they will tip you good for. And that's what I'm looking for when I'm going out. I want a clean environment. I want good service. And, it's not always that, maybe a server's not busy. They have to spend all their time with me. A server can be very busy. A bartender can be very busy and still give great service. It's when I'm at the table and I don't have, something I need for my meal and I look over and that person's on their phone standing there, something like that, So people expect great service when they go out. Also, going out to a bar, going out to a restaurant is a recreational experience. It comes out of people's recreational budget, not just their regular food budget. You can eat at home for a lot cheaper. You can go to, a fast food place and eat for a lot cheaper than most bars or restaurants. So those dollars are coming from a recreational budget. It is a recreational experience for people to go out. Sorry, I'm losing my place. Remember, we're frontline employees. Meaning we are the face of the business. We are what people see and we are what people associate with the business. We are representing the business. So we want to make sure that we're representing the business well because, we're the face of it. We're what people see. So what can bartenders do to maximize their tips and create a great experience for people? So I took this from 3 phases of customer service and just applied it, directly to bartenders. And directly to bartenders as it pertains to our industry. So phase one of the three phases of customer service is the pre-contact phase. So before people show up, before they get to the bar, cleanliness, sanitation, and also appearance. I want to make sure I'm in uniform. I look nice. I'm ready to go. Besides that, I want to make sure that the bar looks nice, that the entire room looks nice. Okay, if there are tables, the tables are all in the appropriate place, spaced appropriately. The chairs are all pushed in nicely and look nice. The bar stools are all pushed in at the same distance apart. Give them a little turn. It looks nice. The bar should be aesthetically pleasing. When I walk in, it should look nice. First thing I do when I walk into restaurants and bars, look at the floor to see if there's trash on the ground, because that's going to tell me right there how much these people care about cleaning this place. Because it really doesn't take much to bend over and pick up a cocktail napkin off the ground and throw it in the garbage. But when I watch several employees walk by that same cocktail napkin, I know they don't care, and they're probably not cleaning other stuff in the place as well. So make sure we're clean, we're ready to go, everything's set up and appears nice. Aesthetics, yeah, looks nice, looks pleasing, nice atmosphere. We have the lights at the appropriate level. We have the appropriate music on at the right level so that we have the right atmosphere for these people to come into. What else can we do before? Stocking. We can make sure that we have everything we need for the shift. Now, it depends, different bars have different policies over, whether it's the opening bartender or the closing bartender's job to inventory and restock bar. But even if it's not my responsibility, I'm going to make sure I have everything I need. If I have to leave the bar to go get a bottle, I'm not making drinks. I'm not making money. I don't want to have to leave the bar for anything. So I'm going to double check stuff. If I know I go through 3 bottles of vodka on a day shift, I'm going to have 3 backup bottles of vodka. I check some stuff. Yeah, I'm going to grab another Jack. That's not a lot of Jack. I'm going to make sure I have everything I need, as well as, get ahead of myself. As well as if I'm serving food at the bar, I have silverware, I have dinner napkins, I have appetizer plates, and I have an array of different condiments. Once again, if I have to leave the bar to get any of those things, I'm not making drinks, I'm not making money. So have all that stuff ready to go. And have proper setup. Everything's opened, everything's unlocked, all the doors are unlocked. Certain situations, for instance, a hotel, where the lobby is 24 hours a day, but the bar is not, you may have to lock up the liquor, lock up the booze, and different stuff like that. We want to make sure all that stuff is open, all that stuff is ready to go before someone walks into the door. It looks really bad if, 11 o'clock comes and my restaurant opens and someone walks in to get a drink and hold on, let me get the keys and unlock this and take care of this. Have it all unlocked, have everything set up, proper setup, and ready to go. And smile. And that's my cheesy work smile. You don't have to be that cheesy, but there's 3 things I've taken from corporate hotels that I really love, that are my favorite kind of 3 corporate sayings. And one is that, your uniform's not complete without a name tag and a smile. And that's really what it's about. No bartender should have a scowl on their face. And I've walked into too many bars and seen just a sourpuss face behind the bar. And that person's not going to be fun. That's not going to be a fun place to hang out. I already know when I walk in there. So, name tag, smile, you're ready to go. The other 2 corporate sayings that I love are, one is the 3-6-10, or I've also heard it as the 3-6-12 rule. And a lot of times this applies to large resorts, hotels, and stuff like that. People have trepidation about approaching employees and talking to them. So having your name tag so they know your name, they can address you instead of hey you or hey sir, ma'am, something like that is important. But people feel like they're putting employees out, and they should never feel that way. So sweat off. And, they should never feel that way. If I am on property in uniform on the clock, I should be able to stop and answer questions about anything for any guest on property. Where's the phone? Where's the ATM? Where's the front desk? Where's the gym? Where's the pool? Where's this? Where's that? They're not putting me out. I'm here to work. We're here to take care of you. So the 3-6-10 rule is this. At 10 feet away, I am making eye contact with guests. As they get closer at 6 feet away, I am making some sort of physical gesture, a head nod, a wave, something like that. At 3 feet away, I am verbally acknowledging the guest. Hi, folks. How are you doing? Is there anything I can help you find? It just makes you more approachable employee, makes it easier for people to come up and talk to you. And it really does a lot for the overall satisfaction of people, staying on that property or even just visiting that property for that time. The other one, throw out the other one too, which is CROW, which is an acronym. CROW stands for Customer Right of Way. The customers always have the right of way. If I'm holding a tray with 1,000 pounds on it, and my arm is breaking and the bones are splintering out through the skin, I still stand there with a smile. I let all the guests go first, and then I go. The customers always get the right of way. So those are just good ones to remember. The 3610 CROW, and always have a smile. And the other thing, coasters down or napkins down. If a coaster's down, that's an old rule we used to have, or napkins down. A lot of bars and places will use that coaster in front of someone or that napkin in front of someone as a marker. It means that an employee's already spoken to them. So if I'm in a busy bar, I'm working with another bartender, I cash someone out, I give them their change, I look to see who's next. If I see napkins or coasters in front of the people, I know the other bartender's already talked to them. He or she has already got their order. I move on to the people that don't have coasters or napkins in front of them. Same thing, when I was a manager at a place down in Palm Springs area, servers, when a server greeted the table, they were required to put coasters down to everybody. It let me know as a manager that a server has been to that table and spoken to those people. If I see a table sitting there without coasters for a couple minutes, maybe I look in the back, the server's trying up a big order for a table that's going to take her a minute. I'm going to grab the coasters. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to talk to them. Sorry, your server's taking out a big order for a large table over there. What can I get you to drink to get you started? I put the coasters down. And that server comes out with that tray, looks over at that table that she has to get to, sees those coasters down. He or she knows that I've already spoken to them. I'm getting their drink order. She doesn't have to worry about it. She can finish, handing out that food and worry about getting back to them in just a minute. So have those coasters down, use them as a marker. It's a great way to communicate with the other bartender, the other people you're working with, without having to say anything. So phase 2 would be the contact phase. People are coming in, we're making contact with them. Introduction is the first part of it. Introduce yourselves. Hey, folks, I'm Carlos. How you doing? How you doing today? It makes a huge difference just greeting people as they come into a bar or as they come into a restaurant. I used to look at a lot of old studies, but they did a study. This is about 15 years ago. I read this one. They did a study where people's overall satisfaction for the entire experience in a restaurant was greatly increased if someone said, hi, how you doing when they walked through the door, and said, thank you, good night when they walked out. Nothing different in the service, nothing different in the food. Those two things, simply acknowledging someone when they walk in the door and saying thank you, goodbye when they went out, greatly increased people's satisfaction and in their entire visit to the restaurant. So people come in, hey folks, how you doing? Even if I'm busy, I got something in this hand. Hey folks, how you doing? I'll be right with you. Acknowledge people, give that introduction. People think they're being ignored. That's when they freak out. If they see I'm busy, hey, I'll be right with you. They know I'm getting to them. I see them. People are patient. Don't wait. It's not that big a deal. It's when they think they don't, that they're being ignored and they're not being seen, that they're really going to start to get upset and start to freak out. So get the introduction. Speak clearly and eloquently. No slang, no cuss words, nothing like that. Remember, we are frontline employees. You are the face of the business. You should be able to hold a conversation eloquently with the people, that you're speaking to. So yeah, biggest thing, no slang, no cuss words, no stuff like that. Speak properly, be able to hold proper conversation. And so work on carrying a conversation without being personal, invested, or sharing. And this is a big thing. We need to have something to talk about to keep the conversation moving. Nothing about my personal life, nothing about my family, nothing about anything I do. Be very vague with people. My bartender name is Dude. I didn't even use my real name. My name tags would say Dude. It would say Dude when I clocked in the computer. It would print Dude on your credit card slip. Because I don't even want to have, people knowing my real name. As nice as people are, as nice as they seem, even though, you see them 5 days a week, really don't know who these people are away from the bar. There are some weirdos out there. There's some weird people out there. So, be very vague when it comes to yourself. Just have something to talk about that's not you. The weather is easy. Sports are easy. Whatever's happening in the area you live is easy things, to talk about. Be pleasant. Once again, no one wants a sourpuss bartender. It's supposed to be a fun job, a fun place. People are going to have a good time. And, having that right attitude and having that, that right personality really creates the mood in the bar and sets the atmosphere. We create the atmosphere. We set the tone. We create the mood for the entire establishment. And if the bartender's off, the bartender's not creating a great environment, there's not going to be a good environment. There's not going to be a good mood. There's not going to be a good atmosphere in that bar. Number 5, personalize the visit. And I also put don't stretch for a connection there. It's, personalizing the visit is this. Anyone can take my order and bring me what I order. Do I make some sort of personal connection with the person, with the guest? Easiest way to kind of make that connection. Number 1, ask them their name. Hey, I'm Carlos. What's your name? Get a first name out of them. That creates more of a bond. Jim, can I get you another beer? Is better than sir. Would you like another beer? So getting a first name, easy way. Other easiest thing to do, if they're wearing a hat, a shirt, something with a sports logo, or even better with a college logo, just ask them about it. You don't have to know nothing about the sport. You don't have to know anything about the team. It doesn't matter. They're going to talk about it. They're going to tell you about it. It's just that simple. If someone's wearing a college sweater or a college hat, it's one of basically 3 scenarios. They grew up really close to that college. They went to that college, or their kids or grandkids go to that college. It's one of those 3 things. I don't have to know where it is. I'm going to ask them, hey, where's Ithaca? They're going to tell me I think it's in New York. They're going to tell me all about it. They're going to tell me, all about their time there. And it's really funny that, I had situations where I just asked someone, hey, where's Citadel? And they'll start telling me about Citadel. And sure enough, a guy down at that end of the bar is like, Citadel? I graduated in 83. And I graduated in 85. And it ends up they, met each other long ago. But the people really hold on to that. And they remember that. Oh, yeah, that's the bar where I met, the other guy that graduated at Citadel, two years after me. So find something to kind of make that connection to it. One of the best tips I've ever got from 2 guys gave me a $100 tip on their dinner for a father and son. They told me they were from Memphis. I went to the University of Memphis, played football there. Bam. That was how easy it was to make a connection. I've lived there. I've been there. I played football there. We started talking about Memphis. Easy connection to make. So try to make that. Try to make that connection. Try to personalize the visit, but don't stretch for a connection. Don't force it. I heard a comedian talk about this the other day. Let connections come naturally. We're not really trying to force anything to happen. And anticipate customers' needs. And this is a big one too. Not only is it creating a better experience for the customer, but it's going to save you time in the long run. I serve someone a vodka tonic with a lime on the side. I'm going to throw them an extra couple cocktail napkins because they're going to need them to wipe their hands off after they squeeze the lime in there. And it saves me from them having to go, hey, can I get a couple napkins, and stop me from making drinks for other people. If someone orders French fries, and I'm big on this, even if the 2 people are splitting a $2.50 order of French fries, I'm going to give them plates. I'm going to give them napkins. They're splitting an appetizer. As far as I'm concerned, they're getting appetizer plates. But I'm also going to put ketchup, salt, pepper up there without them even asking. I'm just going to stick it up there. If they use it, they use it. If they don't, they don't. I talk a lot of times about the Donna Inn here where I live, a very high-end kind of famous hotel. And, their steakhouse, when it opens in a half hour, serves $110 steak and lobster. But they don't open for another half hour. The bartender that worked today served a lot of burgers and fries and probably made very good money doing it as well. But if I was setting up that bar this morning, I know that I have ketchup, mustard, salt, pepper, relish, A1, Heinz 57s, Worcestershire, and an array of hot sauces. And I'll put everything up there for people. And I'll point to it too. You got your ketchup, mustard, salt, pepper, this, that, because this happened too many times to me. So, hey, can I get some ketchup? And the ketchup will be sitting right in front of the person. So I point to it all. Okay, you see it, you got it, you're good. I'm going to walk away and go make money off of other people. So anticipate customers' needs, and it saves you time, makes a better experience for the customer. And yeah, acknowledge other customers even while busy. Once again, I can be shaking a drink here. Yeah, folks, I'll be right with you, and I'll be happy to help you folks down there. It's real easy to do. To just keep your head up and acknowledge people. It's not so much about smiling, it's being engaged and remaining talking to people. Now, does this happen? I've got two people here. I'm making drinks for them. I've got two people waiting nicely here. I've got two people waiting patiently here. I'm shaking a cocktail, and a guy comes up to the end of the bar. Can I get a vodka tonic over here? And it happens. Because as it turns out, that guy goes out a lot. He hangs out in a lot of bars. Really, really easy way to handle this person is to just turn the attention back on them. It's very easy to do. The key is be nice. Be super nice. Just turn to them and say, yeah, I'll be happy to get that for you. But first, I'm going to help all the people that were here before you. And everybody at the bar will turn and look at the jerk, who will then go, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut in front of you, and wait their turn. So don't get upset with that person. Don't get freaked out. Be very nice. Turn the attention back on them, and they'll stop, and they'll wait patiently for their turn as well. Be able to recommend drinks, and especially if you have a specialty drink menu, know something about the drinks on the menu. It's sometimes you get people that have a lot of questions. Sometimes you get people that are pretty easy. But I've gotten people that either were very, very into their booze or owned a bar themselves. Because I've had situations where people have grilled me about, for instance, like the Madonna Inn for what's on their specialty drink menu. And I was in a situation where I predominantly worked banquets there. So I mean, in 5 years, I worked their main bar probably 100 plus times, but that was not my main position. When Jimmy, the new bar manager, took over, he changed the bar menu. I'm working the main bar one day, and these people have the bar menu. And like I said, they must have owned a bar or restaurant, because they were adamantly going through it, just liquor by liquor, pointing at the bottles, talking about all of them, started asking me some questions, and I just had to be perfectly honest with them. Honestly, guys, I have not even looked at that menu yet. And they said, what about this drink? And I go, wait, that one's off the old menu. I can make that for you. So I made them, and they're like, you made it different than it says here. And they had changed one of the ingredients. Instead of raspberry liqueur, it was raspberry syrup. And I was like, oh, they changed it on me. So, and that's not necessarily my bad. A little bit of a bad on the establishment I worked for. Did not make me aware of the fact that the bar menu had changed before my shift that day. So I was unable to I did not know I needed to familiarize myself with the new bar menu. But you should know about the bar menu. You should be able to answer any questions people have about any of the cocktails on there, and also give suggestions and recommendations. And a lot of times I gave someone the bar menu. I'm going to point to a couple things. I think this one's really good. A lot of people like this one. And, just a couple of suggestions, to give to the people. Clean constantly. Once again, we cannot sanitize and clean enough for people in, I guess we can kind of call the post-COVID era now. We can't clean and sanitize enough. And I just know sometimes it can be hard because you're really busy and you're moving fast. But it's one of the concepts talk about in restaurants of full hands in, full hands out. And that applies usually to when you're going into the kitchen, going to the back. Every time I leave the dining room to go into the back, I can take something with me. And every time I come back out to the restaurant, I can bring something back. There's always something to go one way or the other. Same thing can apply to a bartender. I set a fresh drink down for this person. I grab their glasses and I take them back, all in the same motion. So, even if you're busy, you can still be cleaning, as you move, and cleaning as you work, trying to keep the place looking nice, keep it sanitized, keep it cleaned up. And, the other one is kind of to upsell. We work for a percentage. Basically, I expect to make, excuse me, I'm sweating. It's hot out here in California. I'm sweating my eyes. I expect to make 20%. I expect to make 20% tips off my sales. So if I sell $1,000 worth of stuff, I expect to make $200. That's generally what I would average. So if I can sell you a more expensive drink, then my sales will be higher, then my tips should be higher as well. So, I'm trying to get people to order good stuff, but I put in the notes here, be transparent. I'm not trying to trick anybody. I'm not trying to put one over on anybody. I listen to a lot of LA radio here, and one of the guys on the radio was telling a story a couple weeks ago about went out to a nice restaurant, asked the server, said, hey, bring me a good glass of Pinot, and was surprised when got the bill and it was a $38 glass of wine. Well, you told him to bring you something he liked. It was good. He brought you something expensive. You didn't give him a price range or guidelines. That's kind of going to happen. But, should that server maybe said something to him? Possibly. But I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to put one over on anybody. And like I talked about last week, it's martinis, Manhattans, and old fashions. That's the easiest upsell because people that drink those don't drink the cheap liquor. They don't drink the well liquor. They have a go-to. They just left their brain at home because they went out and they turned it off because they don't have to think when they're out. So simple thing to do. Gin martini. What kind of gin do you like? Bombay Sapphire, Tanqueray. They're going to have a go-to. They're going to say one of those. You're going to be able to sell them a more expensive drink. All right, the third phase of customer service, the post-contact phase. So this we're talking about, we'll get into now is the end of someone's visit, when they're getting ready to leave. Have people's checks ready, have their tabs current. When someone's ready to pay their tab and they're ready to leave, that's when they're ready to leave. If I now make them wait while I put more stuff on their tab, he had 2 Bud Lights and I think his friend had 2 Crown Royals. The whole time that customer's waiting for me to update their tab and get their tab current, my tip is going down because that's when they decide your tip is when they're ready to go at that moment. Whole time they wait, that tip goes down. So make sure you're ringing up, every drink, every order as you're making it. Don't try to remember stuff. You get too busy. You're going to forget drinks. You're going to forget to put stuff on people's tabs. So make sure, we're putting in each round after we make them. Even when we're busy, it's just part of it to keep their tabs ready. So I've got it current. Hey, can I get my check? Sure. I print their check up. I hand it to them. They don't have to wait. If it's a situation where maybe you're holding a credit card to hold someone a tab open, have that current. And what I always do is I'll print a copy of their bill and I'll wrap it around their credit card. Now, when that person's ready to check out, I have it ready to go. Thompson tab, sure. I give it to them. Let me make sure it's okay. I let them look at it before I swipe their card because sometimes I make mistakes. Boom, good. I swipe their card. Boom. That person didn't have to wait. I'm going to get the biggest tip out of them. And now I get them out of the way and I have room for more people to come in and spend more money and make more money. So keep tabs current. Have them ready to go when those people are ready to go. They should not be waiting on you when they're ready to leave. Clean all the dishware and sanitize everything in a timely fashion. And like I was just saying, I'm putting it in full glass down. I'm taking all the empty glasses and stuff back. I'm getting that stuff out of the way. But also when people are done, if they have a meal at the bar, or maybe you've got some bar tables that you're responsible for as well, they're done with their meal, they're done with their plates, get everything out of there. It is kind of one of the things of serving, that once their meal is done, we want to get as much stuff off of the table that they're not using that we can. Then when they get up, it's going to be a lot easier to clean that area and the people don't have the clutter and stuff in their way. If they're going to hang out, have more drinks or watch the band or do whatever, they don't need to have their dinner dishes. They don't need to have salad dressings. They don't need to have, all this stuff that went with their dinner that's not going to be needed for them. So, when they're done with stuff, get it out of the way, try to keep their area clean, do it all in a timely fashion. Once again, say thank you and goodbye when they leave. It really does make a big difference. And even if I'm busy and I'm shaking stuff and they're at the door, I'll yell it, thank you, folks. I'll yell across hey, thanks, folks. Appreciate it. And usually I'm going to wave or, a hi or something like that. Just let them know, hey, thanks for coming by. We appreciate you stopping by and coming in. And we appreciate your business. Yeah, that's what I put here. And then, kind of make sure they have everything when they leave. People will leave their glasses at the bar. People will leave their phones. People will leave their credit cards. People will leave their hats, shoes. I can't tell you all the weird things I found at the end of the night at a bar. So if they've left anything, it does suck sometimes when you're really busy and you see that someone's walked up and left their cell phone. But all of us now will freak out if we can't find our cell phone for 6 minutes. So even if I got to stop in a busy bar, grab that phone and run outside. Hey, sir, ma'am, you forgot your cell phone. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure they got everything when they came with, because I know how bad it sucks to lose that kind of stuff and not know what your phone is or your credit card is or your wallet is or something like that. So I'm going to make sure that they have everything with them when they leave. All right. So that is my 3 phases of customer service. And, hopefully using some of those techniques help you maximize your tips, and keep people happy. So I want to talk about a couple cocktail ideas because we are still here in middle of August here. We got about 2 more weeks till Labor Day weekend comes up, and we'll talk about that in a couple weeks. Next week, we'll talk a little bit about questions and comments bartenders hear often that are kind of off-putting, and how to handle them and how to deal with people. So we'll talk a little bit of that before we get into talking about the holiday weekend. But I was thinking of some fun summery cocktails that we could try out here today. So I saw this one a while ago, and I haven't gotten around to doing it, so we're going to give it a try here. It's called an El Floridita daiquiri. El Floridita daiquiri, or a Hemingway daiquiri. It was invented by Ernest Hemingway, who loved to hang out in Florida and fish and do whatever. Kind of an eccentric cat, very eccentric cat there. So I've got my martini glass here. I'm going to grab my ice. Place. So I don't have my martini glass in a refrigerator or a freezer. So first thing I'm going to do is just chill it out here. Put some ice in the glass, and we'll set it to the side, and we'll let that ice chill that glass out while we go ahead and build our drink here. So we're going to do this one stirred in a glass. So I'm going to throw a little bit of ice in the glass there. So first thing we need to make this is some white rum. And I've got something here. And this is just water. I'm not using real booze out here. Just a little water, colored waters out here so that we're not wasting alcohol. So we'll do 2 ounces of what would be our white rum. Oh, and I try not to spill it on the side. There we go. All right. So got our rum in there. And maraschino liqueur. This has a little tint to it. We're just going to give it a little 1/4 ounce there of our maraschino liqueur. And then we need some grapefruit juice. So got some grapefruit here. I'm actually going to get some fresh grapefruit juice here from this nice ruby red grapefruit. There we go. And we will do 3/4 ounce of our fresh grapefruit juice. Like that. And then we need, if I can look at my recipe, we need just a little splash of simple syrup, which I've got some simple syrup here. A little bit in there. And we're going to do some fresh lime juice. So we're going to do a 1/2 ounce of lime juice. Remember, once again, 1/2 a lemon, 1/2 a lime. It's about 1/2 ounce. And when I'm using a squeezer like this, if I take these nubs off the end of the lime, this comes down better. You get a better squeeze on a lemon or a lime. So I'm going to do my 1/2 ounce of fresh lime juice in there. There we go. And we will get our spoon, and we will go ahead and give this a nice stir. And once again, just like when you're shaking, be smiling, but it's more about being engaged. I have my head up. I'm talking to people. I can answer questions. Hey, folks, I'll be with you in just a minute. It only really takes about 9 or 10 good stirs to get it chilled and diluted there. I will throw my ice out here. Strainer. And we will strain our Hemingway daiquiri into our martini glass. Give it a little shake. A little more will come out. Just like that. Up here, and we'll garnish it with a cherry. And there we go. Our Floridita or Hemingway daiquiri, just like Ernest Hemingway used to enjoy down in the Keys in Florida. Nice, great summery drink. And we'll put that one off to the side for a second. So that's our Hemingway daiquiri. So I was thinking about summer. What says summer? But lemonade. Lemonade is a great summer drink. So there's two real fun lemonades we can do in the bar here. One is really easy. I'm going to take my Collins glass, nice tall glass like this. I'm going to do, once again, 3/4 of an ounce of white rum. That in there. And if we do 3/4 of an ounce of blue curacao in there to give it a cool blue color. And I'm going to put some sweet and sour bar mix. And then if we just top it off with Sprite or 7-Up, Sierra Mist, anything like that, we have electric lemonade or electric blue lemonade. And I will finish it with we'll give it a nice little lemon wheel here. Peel off. There we go. Give it a nice little lemon wheel garnish there. On the side, nice straw, and we've got electric lemonade, perfect for summertime. Now, what if rum's not your drink? What if you're more of a whiskey person? Well, Jack Daniel's Lynchburg lemonade is a perfect lemonade for whiskey drinkers. So once again, I'll grab my tall Collins glass, fill it to the top with ice, and then we do 1 ounce of our faux Jack Daniel's here. Throw that in there. And then we do 1 ounce of triple sec or orange liqueur. I've got my Cointreau bottle here. We'll do a full ounce of that as well. So it's got the whiskey. It's got a little bit of orange flavor in there as well. Then once again, we're going to go to our sweet and sour bar mix. Top it off again with Sprite or Sierra Mist or 7-Up, anything like that. We'll give it a nice lemon wheel as well. Just like that. And we have our Lynchburg lemonade for Lynchburg, Tennessee, where they make Jack Daniels, which is in a dry county. You can't buy Jack Daniels where they make it. I always thought that was kind of funny. So we got our electric blue lemonade and our Lynchburg lemonade, a couple good summer lemonade ideas there. I'm going to do 2 more just because I was watching a movie 2 nights ago called Uncharted. And there's a guy in it. I can't think of his name, but he plays Spider-Man in all the Spider-Man movies. So the beginning of the movie, he's behind a bar and he starts talking about Negronis and how Negroni came to be made about. So I felt like I had to make a Negroni and Americano, the other drink that he mentions. So we go to do our Americano. I'm going to grab my handy dandy mixing tin here. About 2/3 with ice, not too full. To do our Americano, we just need some sweet vermouth. I'm going to do 1 ounce of that. And then some Campari. And this looks like Campari. And sweet vermouth is just fortified wine. Campari is an Italian aperitivo, is what they call it. Kind of has the taste of bitter fruit. People drink it a lot of times just with soda water on the rocks and an orange. Or to use the Americano or also our Negroni. Shove stuff in there, lock in our pint glass, give it a nice good shake, get that mixed up. I'm gonna get some fresh ice here in my bucket glass. All right. We'll strain out our Americano here. And then just top it off with a little bit of club soda. And we'll give it a nice orange twist. Like that. And once again, essence of a twist, we want to take the outside of the peel. That's where the oils are. All the way around the rim, 360 degrees. And we just squeeze the zest over the top. And like that, and we have our Americano. And like the character was mentioning in the movie, Negroni came about when they swapped gin for the soda water in an Americano, thus creating the Negroni. So we can do that one as well. Make myself a little room here. So grab 1 more glass, some tin. So going to do our Negroni, and it's just going to be equal parts of our gin, sweet vermouth, and Campari. step in here. So we're going to do 1 ounce of our Campari. We're looking red liqueur here. We'll do our sweet vermouth. And then a clear one for gin. And that's it. Again, just pop that in there. It's going to lock. Give it a nice good shake, or we can do the underhanded one like this as well. Pop that out with fresh ice in my glass. And we'll strain out our Negroni. We'll shake. A little more comes out. There we go. And once again, we'll do another orange twist here for our Negroni. And there we go. So these are some summer cocktail ideas. Nice, refreshing for your summer party, pool, stuff like that. So like I said, next week we'll talk a little about questions and comments, that bartenders hear and have to deal with very often. And then the next week we will talk about Labor Day coming up, Labor Day cocktails, and cocktail ideas for the holiday weekend. So thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great week, and we will see you next Wednesday. Thank you.